Hello, this is Karen, and I am sharing a video out of my personal vault journal collection. I've had people ask me if I have anything ready-made, and there are things that I am willing to let go of from the earlier days that I have created journals, and this is one of them, and I love it. It's absolutely beautiful, but when this particular person asked me if I had something available, I immediately thought of this one as it seemed to be perfect for what she was looking for. Anyhow, this flip through is for her, or a walkthrough, and what it is I'm just going to be sharing all of the pages inside and the cover and so on. I decided to open it up to this page because that's just where it fell, and I really do love it. I used digitals from Cheryl at Delygirl Creations. She has closed down her Etsy store, or whatever store she had. I'm sorry you can't buy them anymore, but there are lots of beautiful tea-themed journal digital kits available out there. This one is called Tea and Roses, and I love it that it's a bit of a brighter color. And I know she's Canadian, so there's a lot of Canadian teas represented in here. So that is near and dear to my heart. The cover is fabric, and it is using a Craftex base. I got this beautiful tea themed printed fabric. I'm pretty sure it was at Hobby Lobby, and just had to make a cover out of it. I made a little writing board, a small writing board that's reversible, and out of fabric over the Craftex as well. I've used a crocheted pink and white square doily or linen piece of textile, and just added some vintage lace trim and some rosette trim here to finish the rough edge. It has some ombre colored sari silk ribbon. If she decides that's too bright or whatever, I can always change that out for her. The dimensions are probably 8 by 5.5, but we'll see. Actually, it's 5 inches, 0.75, and 8.5. 8 3/8 to be precise. I've got this sweet little dangle charm. I buy these at a tea shop out in Lodi, California, and they're a charm on a tiny little clip, and I just think it was so perfect to put on here. So that is included in the journal. It is 2 signatures full of beautiful images. I've got a vintage or antique silk handkerchief that I have added to the inside of the front cover. The inside is also fabric, and what I did was I didn't wrap the journal cover. I just left the edges raw and zigzagged them. I like that organic finish. And a cute little teapot charm there. I have a floating pocket that holds a number of tags. This is the decoupage napkin here on this one, and I've stamped throughout this journal, enjoy the little things. This one says, a cup of tea warms the soul like a good friend. And those just pop into this pocket here. I've used some seam binding and some vintage lace, a Tim Holtz die cut, some digital papers, and that just pops into the front cover. And these are always so trying to get in the right spot. And you can also put whatever else you would like in there. I've used quite a few of the silhouette or skeleton butterfly die cuts. I've cut them out of gold metallic paper and added some Swarovski crystals. I have used a paper punch, a Martha Stewart paper punch, to shape all the corners throughout this journal. And I have also used the little tabs that I got from Delygirl Creations. and used them throughout the journal for page edges. 2 signatures. I can do a quick count of pages, or I can just include it in the description. Here's a beautiful, I believe that's Royal Albert China image there that she has incorporated into the digitals. And in this pocket, we've got some pretty trim, a mason jar tag with some stamping, a vintage to antique postcard. I can't make out the date. It looks very old. It just feels very old. I would say antique. And then I've got some lovely vintage sheet music. It's called The Last Rose of Summer. Beautiful. And that is a double fold out. Sweet and Low, When I Was a Lady. Susie, Little Susie, Morning Prayer, and Soldier Boy. So that is included in this pocket. I have an envelope that I have made on the side here out of some music paper. Done some frontage on a dragonfly die cut and added some rosette trim. A tiny little card with some stamping. That's from Heartfelt Creations, just for some extra journaling space. And include a tiny little note if you would like. And then what I tried in this journal was using the extra thick embossing powder, and it leaves a very raised glossy surface, and I just love it. I think it's really, really cool. So I have several teacup and teapot dies, and I use that to cut out the paper first and then add the embossing powder. Some vellum paper in roses, and then I've just used some stationery, some lined stationery. It says dream big and shoot for the stars, just for some extra note taking. Make weekends more adventurous. And on this side I've got one of the pockets from the kit, added some beautiful gold metallic lace and one of the butterflies, some more collaging, one of the tabs, and then this is a tall tag with some stamping and some lace topper. Extra writing space for note taking on this lined journal paper. And then what I did was I printed front and back on quite a few of the pages. This is what was dubbed as the background or side 2. So you can choose to do whatever you would like. These are some stamps that I've got that are pretty old. They've come from Heartfelt Creations. As you know, they are going out of business now, which is very sad. But I have so many of their things I will use for years and years to come. And what I did was I never did get the matching die for this one. So I just fussy cut them out and just stacked them and made a little tuck spot. And just some pretty scrapbook paper with some gold, glitter gold butterflies and a bird there. Just make it a pretty little feature tucked into that pocket. And then here I've just got a side pocket with a little tuck spot, some stamping and a tab at the top. It says tea time. And I've used some gold vellum paper, used some paper punching edge on the bottom and another tag. So basically this little booklet straddles the page, and I have adhered it so it's permanent. Got a little small tag here with some stamping. Have a bird cage and a butterfly. And seam binding as the topper. And this one is removable, or it pulls out. So I've attached it there, and it's got a lot of extra writing space. I've got some stamping here of teapots. That's by Graphic 45 from one of their collections. And a tiny little booklet with a rose stamped on the inside. And also some teacups at the bottom. Those, I believe, are Heartfelt Creations as well. You should check out their website because you may be able to still snag quite a few of their collections And they're fabulous stamps. The red rubber stamps, they're amazing. A little circle tag and some stamping on the back of a teacup, a small postcard with a coffee pot and some coffee mugs, and then a tall tag for some extra journaling space. And then I've just added some pretty lace trim at the bottom here. Lots of writing space. Another little tab. And then what I did was I just collaged some printed paper on the sides, ripped them, and just did the edges that way to give it some interest. Some more gold vellum. Another tuck spot here that I've taken a paper doily and just glued it on the underside there, so it's got a spot. You can actually put two different things in here. I've just got the one where I've stamped on the back, added a pretty butterfly, and created a collaged look there together with the paper doily. Another side tuck or belly band off to the side with a stamp of a cake, because T means sweets. Got some old wrapping paper here, vintage style, and then I've done another pocket with a paper doily. I've used the, I think that's a Sweetie collection by Stamperia, tag with a little bird and some roses on it, the gold vellum paper, and here's an envelope that I've made from the kit. I've left it open so you can maximize your journaling space there if you would like, or just add some glue and seal it up. Some beautiful Anna Griffin paper that I've had for a long time, of course. If you watch my other videos, you'll know how much I love her paper. It's just so elegant and classy. And then this straddles this page here. And you can tuck whatever you would like inside there as well. Lined journaling paper. Here's another tuck spot with a paper doily. You could actually put two different things in here because I've just folded it in half. It just makes it a little sturdier when you fold it if you're using it as a tuck spot. I've fussy cut out a teacup that I've stamped and a metallic gold butterfly with some crystals, Swarovski crystals. A tall tag with a rose stamped on the back, gold vellum, the wrapping paper. Then I've put a tea bag here that I actually tea dyed, and I've got a tag with the tab from the actual tea bag. It's pure leaf. These are usually silk, these tea bags. They're just so beautiful. I think they're so pretty in our journals. A bit of metallic gold lace at the bottom and a stamp of a teacup. And here I have a removable booklet. Room for extra journaling space. I've just added some stickers on the inside and some stamping of a teacup. And that just goes over this page side. And then we've got a tuck spot at the top here. I've just added some small banners from the kit and a paper doily that I've tea dyed. It's actually two of them there to give it a little bit more support, strength. And then these tags that I've stamped on the back of this one and done a die cut of a little teacup. So sweet. More journaling space, another teacup or coffee cup, and this collaging on the side, extra journaling space. And on this side we've got a pocket from one of the digital images. I've added some lace and a metallic champagne gold colored butterfly with some pink background behind it. Just some tags for extra writing on, sweet shop. And on this side I've got the thick embossing powder. I've done a stack of teacups that I have stamped and then die cut. And a tiny little tag here of bunny rabbit. And a tiny little plate of some Madeline meringue cookies. If you're familiar with those are so yummy. Got a tuck spot here, a belly band with a cute little bunny, and another metallic gold butterfly. A card that I've just left in here for extra writing space. It is beautiful mulberry paper with music notes decorating it. And then I've stamped a scene here. That is from, that's a discontinued line too. That is Sparkle and Sprinkle. And I do love their tea-themed images. Whenever I find something, it's very tempting not to get it. We all have our weaknesses. And a postcard with some stamping on the back, another pocket with some rose trim, a tiny envelope that I've added some fussy cut roses to, and a little tiny tag for extra note keeping. Actually, I'll just put that there for now. Extra journaling space. This quote says, "Look perfectly polished wherever you go, and keep a sketchbook or a journal to capture your best ideas." More vellum paper. Belly band that I've added here with a metallic paper butterfly die cut, and stamping of a coffee pot or a large teapot. And this is a little fold out or a pull out. It comes apart and then you just pull it down so you can tuck something else in here or add a long piece of note keeping. Isn't that cool? So I've just added some reinforcements there, and then that just ties back up. I've got some tags in here. Where there is tea, there is love. That's Graphic 45 stamp. And this one is some pastries and cupcakes. And that's the end of the first signature. And on to the second. This is the page I opened out to, and it's got a tall tag with some stamping on the back for extra writing space. This is for a special occasion. The recipient can tuck little cards and notes inside that are meaningful to them, of course. Here I've done the thick embossing powder again with a small rose die cut flower, small note card with a tea bag that I've stamped on there, some more vellum paper, another envelope that I've made, and I've got an embellished paper clip here holding it together. Just another part of the scrapbook paper that's got the butterflies and the glitter gold sparkly stuff on there. And the butterfly. So this just gets attached like so, and it's pretty from both ways. And then this just gets tucked behind here. That's also a yellow rose. This is a belly band with an embellished gold metallic butterfly on there, and that same tea table stamped on the back. Another pocket and some small tags with a rose stamped on one and a birdcage and a butterfly on the other. I just love these images. They are so very beautiful. Fortunately, I bought this digital kit when I did, so I can recreate this journal if I ever want to, or similar. Stamp on this tag that says Herbal Brewage, and a tiny little girl tag with a little birdie into this fussy cut teacup that I've stamped on this side. Some wrapping paper or just old paper, the gold vellum paper, a paper doily tuck spot with a mason jar and the stamp of a beautiful rose. That's by PSX. And here I've got another beautiful embellished paper clip that I've used. What I do is I take two images that are the reverse of each other and then just glue part of the paper clip inside, and it becomes an embellished paper clip. And some collaging on the side here. Where there is tea, there is love. and another journaling card. Lots and lots of space to write your thoughts in this journal, and a beautiful, beautiful image here on this side. What I did was I just took some printed scrapbook paper and just fussy cut out the image there to create a pocket. I've got some little booklet here with some stamping in it of teacups, and a teapot here with some stamping on the back as well. Beautiful, beautiful blue digital image here. That Royal Albert china. And then I've just made a pocket on this side and added some gold lace trim. Some tall journaling cards. I've got a stamp of a hot air balloon here. Complemented that image, and this one on the right hand side, so just tied it together nicely. And that is this one. Added a little bit of lace trim to the side. Here's the envelope from that beautiful mulberry music note card. Just got some peel paper that if you want to use it as an envelope and send somebody a note in that card, you can do that. A rose stamped on the back of this tag, and that one as well. Stamp on this side of the page is of a corset and a teapot. That is prima. Center of the second signature. I should have showed the beads from the first one. There's a teapot and some pretty beads and a rose. And the first signature has similar colors with some roses and some pretty charms. And on this side, we've got some die-cut teacups and tiny tags with some stamping on the back. This side of the page has an embellished paper clip again with some more roses that I've fussy cut. A tall tag with some stamping on it, and then this is a removable paper doily that I've just collaged a teacup and a butterfly onto. Just love it. So very pretty. And then this booklet straddles this page top here, so it can be pulled out and written on as it is, or cut in half and made into note cards. Whatever you choose. Some more of the very thick embossing powder over a stamped image and die cuts, the butterfly, some lace. Here I have done a index card, tea-dyed, and just added a fussy cut flower to it, and then stamped on the back with cupcakes for these cute little journaling cards. Beautiful teapot. Twinings of London. And another image done in a belly band pocket, so the tags can go right through as floating tags, and that's stamped on the back with a tiered cake. Another die cut or fussy cut stamped teacup set, and just some stamps. Some small tags where I've done some stamping on the back. And a pretty little envelope that I've made with some blue paper. And just added this dimensional 3D card with a teacup and spoon set on it. And on the other side, we've got a mason jar and a belly band here with a butterfly in the metallic gold color and a teacup stamped on the back. Another small booklet. On this side, it opens right out for extra journaling space, and it has the stamping on it, like so. And I've stamped an image of a hybrid rose here. You can always journal right over top of any stamping. Some roses and a tea time stamp there. Corner pocket with some lace trim, a tab, and a paper punched decorative corner. Here I've added a teacup that I've fussy cut and stamped out. Some spoons that I have stamped and die cut that go in here, and a small journaling card where I've stamped a teacup on the back. Some vellum, and then some more of the thick embossing powder over a die cut. It's just amazing. That texture is just so very cool. Just takes a bit of patience to create it. Here I've used the frontage embossing technique, and it's quite thick. A small teacup that I have die cut, and a tiny rose, and then this little paper folds down as well for some extra journaling space. And the card just tucks inside here. And that brings us to the back of the journal. I've got a beautiful vintage doily that I've added some lace to, and a teapot charm on a bulb pin. Done some decoupage here of a tag. Another sheet of music paper, the Maple Leaf Forever. Again, being Canadian, that's so near and dear to my heart. Hope the person that receives this journal appreciates that. It was created by a Canadian, transplanted to the US. And just some vintage sheet music to look at. And I always like to include at least one vintage postcard in every journal. This is so beautiful with the roses on it and the flowers. And again, there's no date on this one, but I know it's very, very old. It's beautiful. So that is Tea and Roses, a very special journal that I am making available. So check in with me if you're looking for something that's ready-made. I might have something that you would like. But for now, this is pretty much spoken for, and I hope that the recipient really, really enjoys it if it's meant to be. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.